So today I want to talk about what to charge for your voiceover jobs.
Every moment is a teachable moment.
This is a question that I get all the time. And it's especially from people who have just entered into the business, and they will frantically text me or email me and say, oh my gosh, I have an opportunity and they're asking me what I will charge for this particular job. It really is one of those things where it becomes like an emergency in the eyes of the people who are emailing me, because it's like they must respond in the next second with the exact right quote. And I'm here to tell you guys that before the days of the rate guides, which are suggested guidelines for jobs, and also before the time where we were all communities online, when someone asks you how much it would cost to do this particular voiceover or to, record voiceover for them, we typically had to come up with those numbers on our own. And so the really awesome thing is that we do have benchmarks and we do have guides like the GVAA rate guide. We have the Gravy for the Brain rate guide. There's also SAG-AFTRA, which has a rate guide. So we have a lot of different places to go and look for benchmarks. But to be completely honest, not every case and not every scenario is documented within those guides. When that happens, again, remember, they are just guides. You're going to come up with a quote on your own, believe it or not, on your own. And sometimes there is no answer out there. There's no, oh my gosh, there's a right amount to charge or a wrong amount, or an amount that's too low or an amount that's too high. Sometimes you just have to kind of pull that answer from the air. Go upon your good judgment of understanding and researching who is this potential client, what is the potential for them to hire me again, and to possibly I could get more work, and what do we feel will entice them to hire us in terms of not quoting too high so that we've priced ourselves out of the market, or too low so that we appear that we're cheap. And so a lot of times when people will ask, or a potential client will ask what I will charge, I will always come back and ask them if they have a budget in mind. And if they come back and they don't have a budget in mind, then sometimes I literally have to pull it out of the air. And I can also ride on my experience in the business. This is what I've typically charged for something that I feel will take this amount of time. And sometimes I will literally take that as a benchmark, and then I'll think, well, maybe I'll charge them a couple $100 more, or maybe I'll charge them, $1,000 more. It really depends on, again, understanding, first of all, what does the job entail? Where is it going to be used? How long will it be used? And that will help to determine what my quote will be or what my price will be for that. But understand, guys, that there's not always a right answer. There's not always a wrong answer. Sometimes you just have to use good judgment. And so when that time comes, make sure you're educating yourself, doing your research on this potential client, and sometimes just take a guess. I always like to guess just a little bit on the high side. And when I do that, that allows me to negotiate to the value that I actually thought was good in the first place. So sometimes I'll quote a little bit higher. And again, that's a negotiation tactic. So you don't always have an exact right answer. Relax, take a breath, take a look around, research your potential client, and just come up with a number. And you'll be amazed at what can happen when it works out. Okay, guys, for more business tips, make sure to check out my videos here. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next week.